So, since we are all superheroes, light and dark forces are constantly battling over our soul. Why? Because they want influence over our free will decisions. The more influence they have, the more they are able to control us and manipulate how we lead our lives. So it's been really hard for me to watch the news because I will see murders and suicides, and the reporter will be interviewing their friends and family. And the friends and family will be saying, I am just stunned and shocked. I never thought they would even be capable of this kind of thing. This is just completely out of character for them. This doesn't make sense. We had no idea. Well, yeah, maybe it doesn't make sense. But then later on in the news broadcast, I'll find out that the person was ingesting something like drugs. If you are ingesting drugs, you are basically giving the dark the red carpet straight to your brain. Right this way, sir! Take me over, manipulate me. I belong to you, I am all yours. You're the boss, not me, because I'm addicted. So I'm going to compromise all of my personal power and hand it all over to you. Drugs, alcohol, what have you. If you're ingesting toxins, you're compromising your personal power and you're giving the dark a red carpet to influence you. So that's why, yes, your behavior is not going to be characteristic of who you are because you're altering your brain chemistry. And the dark is like, woo, thank you for the red carpet. We're going to happily jaunt along this red carpet straight to your thought process, and we're going to influence your thought process, which then influences your emotions and your behavior. So yeah, you're basically giving them the key to your brain. This is why a lot of bad stuff happens when people are on drugs. Things that they wouldn't normally do. We have a lot of regrets when we're hungover the next day. It's like, oh my God, what did I do last night? I don't even remember what I said. I don't even remember anything I did. I was so drunk. How did I get home? How did I even end up in my bed? I don't know. Right? So you end up having a lot of regrets, and just be careful. Just be careful. I used to drink alcohol and I don't anymore, and life is a lot easier. It's a lot easier. I don't make a fool out of myself. I don't have regrets. I don't do stupid things. I'm not praying to the porcelain god anymore. My body's not giving me the middle finger the next day saying, what did you do to me, you stupid idiot? Yeah, it's nice never to be hungover. I was also leading a dehydrated life where I was just dehydrated, obviously not getting enough water because I drank too much alcohol. So it's just a healthier existence. Now, another way to give the dark the red carpet to your brain is your mood. Are you depressed? You know, if you suffer from like manic depression, maybe, you do something that you end up regretting later during an extremely low, where your mood goes so incredibly low that the dark jumps in there and takes you over. Why? Because your mood makes you an energetic match for the dark. So that's why the light is constantly trying to make you guys happy, with dancing, music, exercise, what have you. The light is constantly trying to keep your vibe high so that the dark can't influence you. There's strategy there. So for you to be extremely depressed, yes, it's easier for the dark to take you over. Is it a catch-22? Yeah. Maybe you're trying to pull yourself out of depression and the dark won't let you. It just keeps trying to pull you down and you're kind of trapped in this cycle. Well, be aware of that. Be aware that dark forces are trying to keep you depressed on purpose. Give the dark the middle finger. Grab yourself by the bootstraps and try to make changes to pull yourself up. But yeah, also the dark is all-knowing, so whatever insecurities you have, it's going to go after. If you think you look fat every time you look in the mirror, the dark's going to go after that thought process and, try to get you to hate yourself. That critical inner voice, that's the dark. That critical inner voice you have, that's the dark, saying you're not good enough, you're not smart enough, etc. It's just the dark trying to influence you. So be aware, be mindful of what your overall operating state is. Do you feel like you're vulnerable for the dark to take over? Well, then changes need to be made. Now, another thing that's really important along those same lines is the limited beliefs and attitudes. Like I said, if you think you're not good enough, then you're not. If you have like a negative attitude, you can end up blocking the abundance that the universe wants to bring you. You can block yourself receiving that love and, financial abundance, what have you, happiness. So I don't want you guys walking around with these negative opinions of yourself, the universe, other people, what you didn't get or whatever. Another thing that really bothers me is I don't want you guys just classifying yourselves or classifying others where it's just like, yeah, they're just a negative thinker. They're just always negative. It's like, okay, maybe that negative thinking is part of their personality. Maybe it's the way they were raised or what they have a tendency towards. Maybe it's the neural pathways in their brain that just keep guiding them towards negative thinking. Okay, fine. Maybe that is kind of hardwired. But I don't want you guys to go there first. I want you guys to see yourselves as being influenced by the dark and it being something that you can fight off. I don't want you saying is like, well, I've always been this way. It's part of who I am. That's why I hate it when people just see themselves as, well, I'm just a depressed person in general. It's like, no, dude, that's the dark taking you over. Give it the middle finger. Oh, I'm just negative in general. My negative thought process, causes me to be sad because my negative thoughts equal negative emotions, and then it just ruins my day. It's like, don't own it. I don't want you guys owning this. I want you to see it as dark forces influencing you and you're fully capable of fighting it off. You have personal power, fight it off. Just take a closer look at what's going on and the dynamics, I believe that you're just being strongly influenced. That's why you have to be really careful what you're doing in order to help the dark take you over. Make it so that they can't. Make yourself so that you're too happy. You're not an energetic match. Or you're living too clean of a life. Your personal power increases when you do those things. So it's easier to give the dark the middle finger and to fend it off. Along those same lines is diet and exercise is going to be really important because your body is a temple. The gas you put in your tank is so incredibly important. The mind, body, spirit connection. The food you eat, the nutrition that you're getting affects you mentally, emotionally, physically. So just understand that all those systems are working together. So food is going to be really important. Exercise is going to be really important. Getting that blood flow to your brain. If I don't work out, I actually do notice my mood falling, just so you know. So that endorphin high really does last. So keep it going. Like, keep yourself moving. Get out there and move. And another thing that's really important is making sure that you're aligned with truth, just regards to the law of attraction, because universal energies respond to your free will decisions. So do you like your living situation, your career, and your love life? Are you happy in those arenas? If not, changes need to be made. But we command universal energies with our free will decisions. So make sure your decisions are based in self-love. Make sure you're not compromising or you're not miserable in a certain area of your life. Do a diagnostic checklist of different areas of your life. Make sure you're pursuing your truth professionally. What are you attracting to yourself? Because the law of attraction is going to kick in. So you have to worry about whether or not you're attracting positive things from the universe or negative things from the universe. So again, this is where our personal power comes in, and I'm trying to let you guys know you have control over this. You have control over these decisions that you make. So there's different levels of vibrational existences here. It doesn't necessarily need to be like good, better, best, or, bad, okay, excellent. There's 10,000 different areas in between. So the closer you are to the truth, the closer you are to the light, and that's going to be the happier you. That's going to be, affects your happiness level as well. Now, another thing is the other side does not like the poor me mentality at all. Other side meaning the light. If you're walking around and your overall attitude, this goes back to limited beliefs and attitudes, your overall attitude is what you didn't get and how this world just kind of screwed you over. Maybe it's true. I'm not ripping on you for having that mentality at all. Maybe that mentality is totally justified. So I'm not going to try to diminish your experience or what you've been through. But unfortunately, the poor me mentality does end up hurting you because it goes back to the limited beliefs and attitudes. So try to find things that you're grateful for, because an attitude of gratitude is the total opposite. I got in trouble with the angelic realm for this before, where I was like, I'm nothing but your whipping girl, blah, 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 blah. And they just said, okay, negative Nelly, can we try to like turn things around? Can we try to turn this thought process around into something more positive, sweets? Because universal energies are responding to you right now. And they were right. They're right. The universe was responding to me. I could feel it. And so I did turn it around. And it turned around really fast. I just started thinking about all of my blessings and the things that I'm grateful for. And my attitude towards life in general changed, where I was like, I really don't have anything to complain about. I kind of need to shut up. And it worked. So it's kind of like spraying the dark with Raid. Gratitude is literally like spraying the dark with Raid. Doesn't know what to do with it. Like, bleh, gratitude, love, bleh, truth, gross. Yeah, incompatible energies for the dark, gratitude. It's a great way to fend it off. But yeah, you do have control over your thoughts and your overall outlook on life. Now, if you do feel like the dark has kind of a foothold and it's kind of taking you over, this is where the spiritual comes in, right? Exorcisms, house clearings, all we're doing is commanding energy, right? Now, this is where Reiki can be really important too, because in Reiki, I've kind of become like more of a sorceress, where I like command, dark entities away from people. I command dark energy away from people. The dark has a way of influencing us. So I make sure, I cleanse people's chakras, that kind of thing. So you can do Reiki on yourself. You can have other people do Reiki on you. Pray, bust out the sage, the Palo Santo, the nice cleansing crystals, wear a religious symbol around your neck. Believe it or not, that also works. Anything you want to do, meditate, to keep the energy clear. I constantly cleanse myself and Toonces and the little apartment that I live in. It's really, really important to do that. And you'll notice the energy feel lighter when you do that. So do it regularly. Don't be shy. But, again, if it's all about personal power, and make sure you're aligning yourself with the light, basically. One of the things I say is I encircle myself in the pure white light of God's love and divine protection, and then I imagine this bubble of protective white light around me as well. Another thing that just has to go along with your thought process, I have no idea if this is still on camera, but hopefully it is. It's kind of towards the bottom here. This goes along with your overall beliefs and attitudes, is optimism, just staying positive and optimistic about the future. And the other side is constantly on me about this. Stay optimistic about the future, stay positive, stay hopeful. It's like, we know we've kind of given you a tough time, Christine, but stay positive and optimistic about the future. Everything's great and wonderful and amazing for you. So that's what they want, because that's what you end up manifesting. So you create your own reality. So pay close attention to what you're manifesting with regards to your future as well. You don't want to walk around in just a constant fearful state, because you don't want to manifest those fears either. So pay close attention to that. So the dark wants to influence your thoughts, and so that's where they're saying don't let it. It's interesting, because I remember when I was younger, I used to tell people that I live most of my life in my head. And they're like, how are you doing? And I'm like, I'm doing great. I don't know. I live most of my life in my head. I'm really happy. And maybe that has to do with my, imagination, because I do have a degree in screenwriting. But I was always sitting in class and I would make myself laugh. And I was constantly having to cover up my laugh with a cough or something, because everyone would be like, why is she laughing? And it would just be something funny that I thought of. And it was just a really nice mindset to be able to make yourself laugh like that and just be silly. Life doesn't have to be so serious. Try to adopt kind of a lighthearted nature and just be more silly. That was a little bit easier for me back then, because the topics they asked me to cover are pretty heavy. So it was a lot easier to be silly in college. But again, they want you to be aware. That's really what they're stressing, is just awareness, mindfulness, being present in the moment, putting down your electronic devices and being present and aware and mindful of what you're thinking and feeling. Just check in with yourself and make sure you're present for yourself and others, because that's important. And then last but not least, rebellion. The other side, meaning the light, has no problem with you guys adopting a rebellious attitude towards the dark. They really don't. And I think that's why they asked me to make this video, is it's like, can you please not give the dark a red carpet to your brain and your soul? They want you to get kind of a bug up your butt and give the dark a middle finger. They want you to view it as this dark force influencing you and trying to manipulate you and your free will decisions. And they're saying it's not who you are, because you are light and you are an angelic being that's directly connected to the divine. You're a spark of the divine. So they're saying that this dark force that's influencing you isn't who you really are. So hose yourself off and pull yourself back up. But it's like they're trying to tap into your personal power, but also kind of a rebellion where it's like, I'm not going to let you win. I'm not going to let you win, you stupid dark. I'm the boss, not you. And so, you know, that's hopefully like a good attitude for battling addiction, etc. But I see like the personal empowerment result a lot from lifestyle, you guys. Getting to that gym. The gym is nice and high vibe, man. If you're a personal trainer, you got angel wings on your back. I hope you realize that. If you're a nutritionist, you got angel wings on your back. I hope you realize that. You are pulling people towards the light. You're pulling people towards, like, maybe it's just they're like, oh yeah, I help people like get healthy, you know, whatever. It's like, do you understand what you're doing is very profound? You're pulling people towards the light and away from the dark, okay? Big deal. Big deal. Body's a temple. You know, I know it's tough working out sometimes. I know it's tough having the self-discipline to eat healthy sometimes, but you are giving yourself an advantage over the dark, making yourself stronger. The dark doesn't want you to exercise and eat healthy. Heck no. Yeah, so just pay close attention to that. I think it's actually a better way to look at it. It's like, I really don't want to have that piece of chocolate cake, but the dark wants me to. So I'm going to give the dark a middle finger and be rebellious and not have it. Like, do you see how it's like kind of empowering? Like, I have another video that talks about like how it's kind of fun to be rebellious. Well, this is fun to be rebellious in a good way. It's like being rebellious against the dark is good. That's a good way. Being rebellious against the light, not so good. Being rebellious against the dark, yeah, it's fine. As long as you're not hurting anybody. All right. Well, that's what I wanted to share. Again, I'd like to reiterate the fact that we are all superheroes. The bigger the superhero, the more the dark is going to go after you. Sorry, but who cares? Hopefully you're also, you know, aware of all this stuff already, and you know, like little tricks of how to ward off the dark, such as these. But yeah, I mean, half the battle is just knowledge and awareness. So use that knowledge to your benefit, because knowledge is power. And in the meantime, take care and be well. Thank you.